The Irrational Confidence Podcast. Number 3 right now, Penn State Nittany Lions. They're 6-0 on the year, 3-0 in the Big Ten. They're going to Camp Randall Stadium. And fresh, get this. Someone actually scheduled the game correctly at Camp Randall. This is a 7:30 kick, playing a game at night in Camp Randall Stadium. What a novel idea.
Yeah, well, the TV
Badgers,
network's in charge, unfortunately, and they finally got one right.
The Badgers, we thought that they were just donezo on the season after that drubbing that they got from Alabama. Wisconsin looked mediocre at best. And then all of a sudden, Tyler Van Dyke goes down for the year. Locke steps in. Has he been phenomenal? No, but has he been – it's not the quarterback that you wanted. It's the quarterback you needed. Wisconsin 5-2 on the year, 3-1 in the Big Ten. Right now, Penn State is a 6.5-point favorite in this game. Over/under is set at 47.5. Fresh, I'm downright excited for this game. This is like the level of excitement of having the Verbena cocktail at the Chandelier Bar. You never know what's going to happen when you're sitting there, folks. And if you don't know what the Verbena cocktail is at the Chandelier Bar in Las Vegas, Google it, check it out. It's a cool experience. I'm excited for this game.
This is the kind of game that Luke Fickell came to Madison for.
Right.
The Alabama game was, we already kind of knew they were probably outmatched talent-wise, top to bottom. But this is that, it's a Big Ten game, it's a conference game, it's a night game. You have a chance to derail Penn State's season right now. Because right now they're kind of thinking, we're cruising right into the playoff, we'll be okay. Your team has played inspired for the past 3 weeks. If you go out there and beat Penn State, I'm not going to say you ruin their season, but you potentially ruin their seeding. You give them a conference loss. People start having questions about, is Penn State truly good? Have they played anybody? Are they truly worthy? We've always had this conversation where Penn State, they're always the but team lately. They have talent, but are they actually truly good? Do they play anybody and they get a bunch of wins? But there's the above average football team. That's when you put that doubt in someone's mind if Wisconsin can show up here and give them a volume or even pull off the upset. That crowd, I don't want to see the students show up to Camp Randall in the student section late. Get there early, sit in your stupid seat, and be ready to yell for a full 60 minutes. You only get these opportunities once. And first of all, you're in college. These are the kind of events you want to have. You want to be at the ball game, tailgating, eggs and kegs from the very beginning all the way to the 6 o'clock kickoff Central Time. Be rowdy, be in the stands, enjoy the experience, be a difference maker. You watch college games all across the country, whether it's football or even college basketball. The student sections are the most feared places, and they bring that intimidation factor and that atmosphere that is required. That sometimes actually dictates the outcome of the game. You need to be that dictating element. You need to come out there and get after it, because right now, talent-wise, I think Wisconsin's still trying to get up to that level of Penn State on paper. But if you can make differences with the noise, with the intensity, and driving that Penn State team start thinking or can't hear the signals, you are now impacting the ballgame, trying to even that playing field. That's what we always talk about, that 3 points going back and forth for the home field advantage. That's what it comes into. Be the difference maker. Because Tony Walker at running back, if that crowd noise is dictating, the defense isn't communicating, he's getting a little quicker a head start in the running game, the offensive line's getting off the ball quicker, you are now helping. If that defense in that environment is raucous and fired up, and that defense is getting an extra start and the offense cannot communicate, you are making a difference in the football game. You've got to show up and be ready. Luke Fickell, you've coached in big games. Prior to this, you know what it takes. You need to take advantage of this. But when you were at Cincinnati, those were really being done when you were the road team, when you went to Notre Dame, or you were in the neutral site in the playoff versus Alabama. Now you have a home field setting. How do you get your boys fired up and prepared the whole entire week leading up to this to be able to tackle on this vaunted Penn State running game, and on offense, catch the football and score? If you got to be a little more old school Wisconsin, not so spread, do it. I don't care how you get it done. You just need to win the football game. Braid Locke, you've been a solid, steady balance at quarterback. Do not let the moment get big to you. Play within your own system. Make your smart throws. If it's not there, get rid of it. You're playing a very, very, very good defense. led by Abdul Carter there on the Penn State side. Do not let them suffocate you. If it's not there, get rid of the ball. You don't have to be a hero. Hero football does not win you ball games. Hero football usually results in you losing. Look at so we've seen quarterbacks in the past try to do too much. They throw interceptions when they shouldn't have. Should get rid of the ball. Be smart with it. Luke Fickell, tell Phil Longo to run the football, run the football, run the football. Get back to old school Badger ball if you have to. Just put it down there, run the ball down their throat, control the clock, keep Penn State on the sideline. On the other side, James Franklin, is Penn State real? Is Penn State for real? This is another game for you to prove everyone wrong and say, yeah, we're for real. That ugly start versus USC and then the major comeback was phenomenal. It's Tyler Warren. He's not going to get 18 catches on Saturday night. You're going to have to be able to run the football and have a little more of a balanced offense. Where does it all come from? That defense should be better this time, but you offensively have got to get it done. I'm a little more impressed after that comeback win versus USC than I was before that. I still don't trust Drew Allar, but I think Penn State has enough talent. This is going to be a brawl. I think it's going to be a low scoring affair, a 4-quarter battle, and Penn State will make a play late and win the game like 24-20. But it will be on edge and going back and forth, throughout the entire ball game. It'll probably be a last second drive from Penn State, to finally get the game winner, but it'll be a one to tune into and watch.
Fresh, people don't realize, and again, if you are south of the Mason-Dixon line, I don't think you truly understand how difficult it is to go into Camp Randall and play there at night. I really don't think people understand. You do, Fresh.
I think people understand. I think people understand, Seth.
You do.
I don't. The Mason-Dixon line is not really going to. I think people understand that it's a raucous environment, but there are places across the country that are just as hostile.
But I understand that.
Night games are different.
Right. And again, that's what I'm saying. At night, going into Camp Randall is a very extremely difficult place to play. There's something different about that place at night. It's the same thing with LSU. There's something different about playing at LSU at night. There's a difference with this team. This game could go any way for Wisconsin. Wisconsin is, again, you take a look at who they play. Yeah, Northwestern, Rutgers, Maryland, last 3 games that they've won them handily and looked really good in those football games. But then you take a look at Penn State coming into town. If they win this game, great. Hey, you pulled off a massive upset. As long as this game's competitive, Penn State's the number 3 team in the country, according to the AP. It's a game we're supposed to lose. If we lost it, okay, we're not quite there yet, but we're a team that's growing. This game is a true referendum on Penn State right now. This is a true referendum on whether or not Penn State is a legitimate top 5 football team right here and now. If you can go into a place like Camp Randall, go in there at night and have a game where you kind of show out of what you're able to do. Not a come from behind win against a subpar USC team. Not a game where, you're down big at halftime like against BGSU. If I was a Penn State fan, I would be getting so tired of this. I mean, and I think about these things sometimes, Rich, because when I was prepping for this game, I kind of put myself in the mindset of being a Penn State fan and going, when is it going to be that people put some respect on their name? Because like you brought up, Penn State has always been our perpetual yeah, but team. When is that moment going to happen that says, because no one ever said yeah, but when Joe Pa was there, Bill O'Brien did a great job of keeping that program afloat when he was there. And now James Franklin has turned them into the yeah, but program. I legitimately think, and I know those questions will never truly end until you beat Ohio State. I mean, you'll beat Michigan if you played them, but I don't think they play them this year. I don't think they'll truly end until those moments happen. But this is one of those types of game that could go a long way. This could be a game where you say, if we go into Camp Randall We go in and Nicholas Singleton runs for 150 in it, or Katron Allen and Singleton go off for 205 together on there. Allard has an efficient day, completes 75% of his passes. This is one of those games that we can't have a James Franklin boneheaded mistake. Bonehead clock management, boneheaded call, what have you with him. If you do those things, then I think the rest of the country will be able to look back and say, okay, Penn State, Oregon, you two are really that elite level of the Big Ten right now. Ohio State, you're going to get a shot at Penn State. You lost your first shot against Oregon. They're a step above you right now. Talent-wise, I don't necessarily agree, but again, can't take away results on the field. They beat you. They get to be called above you until you get another chance at them. I think this is that moment for Penn State. If they don't, then it's just another year of but it's another year of everyone thinking Penn State was a really good football team. They'll beat the lower level teams, that they'll go 10-2 every single year, and they'll never really make it further than an appearance in the college football playoff or a New Year's Six bowl game. And I think I would be truly frustrated if I was a Penn State fan. I got Penn State winning this football game. I think it's close for a half. Penn State pulls away in the second half.
Well, it's funny you talk about, we both mentioned the standard and the perception. 2 years ago, the only reason Penn State got to go to the Rose Bowl is because the two teams that were better than them in the league were in the college football playoff. Like, you were gifted a Rose Bowl appearance because Michigan and Ohio State were both in the playoff. You didn't do it on your own merit. You were the third in the East. So this is a chance for you to change that and get yourself to a point where Penn State is now Penn State. It is what it was in the 80s and 70s. It was a legit powerhouse. Linebacker you, running backs all over the place. Like, just, I don't fear Penn State. I'm like, man, I don't know how we're going to score them. Like, as a fan, you're kind of like, all right, they're cute. That intensity, that fear is not there when it was before in Joe Power when that team was dominant and they were going to be physical and hit you in the mouth at all times, no matter what.
Right. Absolutely. We'll see. This is going to be, like I said, a referendum on Penn State. And really, do we take them serious going into that Ohio State game? I believe that's 2 weeks away from here.
Yep, correct.
Maybe it is next week. Maybe
that's, I think it's
week 10.
The week of November 2nd.
Week 10.
Yeah.
And again, I also would ask the question, Penn State can't look ahead to that.